Go get my jacket. I'd like to call this meeting to order in open session. Welcome to this evening's hybrid Board of Trustees meeting being held both in person and virtually. This meeting has been made accessible to members of the public on the link at the Moreland School District website, as well as on board docs. Any person who requires accommodations to access the meeting has been asked to contact the superintendent's office within 24 hours of this meeting. This meeting is being recorded and may be published online at a later date. And with that, I would like to invite this talented group of Baker Bobcats up to the podium to lead us in tonight's flag salute. Could we stand?
Salute.
One nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right.
Somebody likes to ride their bike fast.
Yes. All right. Well, thank you so much for coming tonight and leading us in the flag salute and giving us this opportunity to meet you and hear from you. And so if you could please each take a turn, introduce yourself, and share with us what role you had in Alice in Wonderland and what you liked about it. Start at this end.
My name is Marie. It's Alice in the River.
Oh, very nice.
My name is Elizabeth, and I was Iris and a color.
Very good.
It's mine. I was Alice number.
Okay.
My name is Irene, and I was Alice number 6. My name is Taylor, and I was in Marshall and Marino 2. My name is Eliana, and I was Alice number 5. My name is Adam, and I was Caterpillar, and Cod 5.
Fabulous.
So I was looking at the pictures and it looks amazing. The costumes, etc. Pictures, they look amazing. So why so many Alices? Is it different? Go ahead.
Pretty sure there were so many Alice's because they're gonna be like changing Alice's, like the part when she grew big, change into like different Alice's. Make it looks like they're changing.
That's amazing.
And Leah, when she was the big Alice, she standing on a pedestal. That's why
That makes a lot of sense. Yeah.
I think it's because like Alice is the main character, and like if there would be one Alice, like they would have a lot more lines to memorize. Like if we split it equally into different parts, and they would each have an equal number of lines to memorize.
Yeah.
So that it would be fair.
That sounds good. Yeah. Awesome. Thank you all so much.
I am curious as to what kind of motivated you guys try out for the play, or what motivated to be part of Alice in Wonderland? Yeah, go ahead.
I feel like I wanted to join it because my sister did yoga not too long ago. And
Oh,
I really haven't seen Alice in Wonderland, but my memory is great. But I just realized it.
I watched Matilda. Great. Yeah. How about we just go down the row?
So it's just My mom, when I saw the label on the website,
Mm-hmm.
she thought it would be cool for me to audition in the play.
Yeah.
And I just thought it would be cool too, so I at least signed up.
Awesome.
Very cool.
My sister, she did a show and she was amazing in a bird.
Mhm.
Most of them, I thought it was very cool, and I also wanted to be on the show.
Nice.
Thank you, Mike.
I wasn't originally gonna be in it
Mhm.
until I told my mom, and she like tried to get me like on the waiting list and things.
Oh.
And like the next day, it turned out that I did it.
Very cool.
Nice.
I've been in many theaters before, and I thought that it was really cool. Well, I saw other people perform, and I thought it was like cool, so to say.
Mhm. Awesome.
I wanted to be the costume.
Oh, yeah. Costumes are the best part. Yeah. Really quickly, can you guys tell me or share with us what you had to do to audition? Yeah.
You have to stand up, you have to have courage to perform in front of a
Definitely.
lot of people.
Yeah. Did you guys have to memorize lines? Go ahead.
We also had like to get your parts, you had a script, you had to read the parts.
Uh-huh.
There was different parts and then she thought whoever was the best person for that part got a gift.
Oh, got it. Yeah, you guys want to add on? Sure.
I did, and there was like a thing that came in, so like a Wednesday envelope, and it said, "Do you want to join a play?" And so
Mhm.
if you want to, would sign your kid up, and then send it to your teacher, and stuff.
Got it. Yes, we'll go in that order.
If like it's cool.
Yeah.
Do you play?
Mm-hmm.
Because you get to hold in front of a lot of people.
Yeah.
And how we did audition is that most of us would pick out of 3 characters, which one we would want to do.
Got it.
We would read lines, try to express the character, and whichever Miss Beth, our teacher, felt we were most comfortable in, and she chose us for that.
Yeah.
So Miss Beth, she would like call up like let's use the white rabbit as an example.
Uh-huh.
So then she would say, whoever wants to be the white rabbit, you can come up and say the lines.
Got it. Wow, you guys are super brave
Yeah.
to do that in front of people. Thank you for sharing all of that. For Trustee Ryan.
All right, well, thank you so much for coming up here. I think it takes more courage to be and I appreciate you guys this time to come up and show us what you were able to do and perform. How many shows did you have? Was it one show? One show?
Sold out, I bet.
Yeah, it was a sold out show. How many of you were nervous? Are you nervous?
Oh.
That's normal.
Mhm.
And how many of you felt like you did the best that you could do? Right?
Oh,
Are you proud of what you guys were able to perform? Was it easier than you thought? How many of you do this again? Awesome.
Yes.
That's all I care about. I'm glad that you found the time and the effort to go ahead and put yourself out there and try this out for the first time. And really excited to see you guys continue this process. And you can say like next time what you would do differently, how you can improve upon how you project yourself or how you act. So I'm very happy for you guys to come up here and share this with us. Thank you so much.
So Trustee Penzel is in the back of the room.
Special seat.
Did you have anything you wanted to pipe in with? I know that typically he expresses gratitude and how important it is that we have this opportunity to see you and hear from you, because the work we do is all in support of you and all of the students in the district and your successes. And this is a terrific reminder for us why we do what we do. Dr. Khan.
The best part of the day, the week, the year are these plays. And it's such an honor to be able to be in a district where we have these opportunities for you. and the courage, like you said, the courage that it takes to stand up and perform and memorize lines. I used to be in theater when I was younger. I was Charlie in Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. My brother was the grandpa and he did not memorize his lines. So he had to read them like he was reading a newspaper. So we had fun, but I am just so thankful that you came here tonight. This is really special. And I hope you cherish this and continue on doing theater every chance you get, because we do have more opportunities to go up on and through the grades. So thank you for being here.
You did a fabulous job tonight. Thank you. And with that, you're welcome to go home. Of course, you're welcome to stay for the rest of the board meeting, but I'm sure you have other things you want to do. Of course, yes. Well, Maureen will probably coordinate a group photo.
Oh, the one?
Can they do it up
In
here?
front-
Yeah.
Sure.
I'm standing here.
Absolutely.
Present.
No.
We'll be here all night.
Which way? This one. Oh,
Yeah. Kids, okay. This short.
No, I guess.
Did I start it, Chris?
Yeah, I know.
One, two. Say Alice.
Hi.
All right. Enjoy the rest of your
Thank you, guys.
evening. Bye, guys. Thanks for visiting us today.
Adjourn right now. don't we?
You need to go famous.
Fix it.
Like, I love him. I love him so much.
Oh my God. So beautiful.
It's interesting how some kids go, it's fun to perform in front of a large group. I love it. And some kids are like, do not make me ever in front of.
Yeah.
I don't want that.
Oh, I know.
It's amazing.
The apple.
Hey,
That was fun.
so great. And so grateful, really, that we do have those opportunities. It's so important. And I just really appreciate, I know it's an extra effort for our school sites to tap families and ask them to come in on a Tuesday evening. And so please do let them know how much we do appreciate that. It really does make such a big difference. And with that, I will report out that there was no action taken this evening in closed session and move to approval of tonight's agenda. Do we have any questions, comments, or a motion on tonight's agenda?
No, I'd make a motion to approve tonight's agenda.
I'll second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
Hey. All right, comments from the public.
Members of the public may address the board on any subject of concern to you, including those not on tonight's agenda. However, provisions of the Brown Act preclude any action as an unagendized item. No response is required or permitted from the board or district staff. And as already stated, no action can be taken. The board, however, may instruct the superintendent to follow up, which may or may not include placing the item on a future meeting's agenda. If you would like to address the board this evening, please complete the blue public comment card within the first 15 minutes of the board meeting being called to order in public session. On the card, please list the agenda items you would like to speak to. If your comments do not pertain to an agendized item, please write public comment. When your name is called, please come to the podium, state your name and organization that you're representing. Comments are limited to 3 minutes per board governance manual. I don't see any blue comment cards. All right.
All right, thank you. Communications, Superintendent's report, Dr. Cod.
Yes, good evening. Next slide, please, Ulysses. Thank you. Well, Moreland is looking for new volunteers to be on either our bond and or parcel tax oversight committees. It's a great opportunity for people to get involved. It is high impact, but low commitment in terms of time. So the committee meets virtually 2 to 4 times per year. The term length is 2 years. We focus on reviewing expenditure reports, independent auditor reports to just make sure that the funds are being spent in line with the legal language and the intent of all of the projects. So we are encouraging parents and community members to consider this very important opportunity to serve our community. And so if you're interested, please contact our business department or myself or Chris Barbera. Anybody you reach out to, we'll make sure you get to the right place. And next slide. Want to congratulate Latimer School, which has been named the 2025 California Honor Roll. This comes from the Educational Results Partnership. They celebrate high-performing schools in districts across California. Latimer is among 1,800 schools and 158 districts statewide recognized for sustained academic growth over the past 3 years in CASP. We are thrilled for this achievement. Want to say congratulations to the students, the staff, the families, the volunteers, everybody that goes into a school to make it great. So congratulations, Latimer. Next slide. On November 6th, the math committee members met to review presentations from several different vendors for the new math curriculum. The committee has selected 2 programs to pilot beginning this January. Both programs are on the State Board of Education approved list of new instructional materials that are aligned with the California Math Framework. The committee members will discuss the implementation, they'll collect data, they'll make their observations, and then they will come together to make a final recommendation, which will come to the board late May or early June for full implementation in the 26-27 school year. And that will be a K-8 adoption. So all of our teachers. Next slide, please. There they are. Okay, guys, over Thanksgiving, this little group of beautiful children put together a lemonade stand and they made like $213.
Wow.
And they donated it to MEF, which actually fully fund one of the grants that MEF, 2 of the grants, you're right, that MEF gave out to our schools this past fall. And want to say congratulations to them. They came to the MEF meeting that we had, I think that was last week, just adorable. And Anna, who is the president of the MEF Foundation, emailed me last night and wanted to know if they could come serve their lemonade to the district office and have a lemonade stand at the district office. So I said enthusiastically, yes, we would love to have them. Still a fundraiser. Over Thanksgiving, no, sorry. I do want to extend thank you to MEF. They gave $22,000 out in enrichment grants to students and staff in our schools. That just happened. I believe the press release went out, Maureen, far and wide. And then just a save the date on the MEF 5K, which is Saturday, March 28th. And this year it is free for staff. We are encouraging all staff to attend. So you do not have to pay to come to work on Saturday and be involved in the fun run. So save the date, Saturday, March 28th. Next slide. So Tasha came to our President's Council this last week, actually. Ryan was there. We had also had a secretary clerk meeting. Tasha shared a new law, a very fun one, Senate Bill 848, very good intentions. Goes into effect July 1st, 2026. And so this impacts volunteer requirements. So all volunteers will be required to take the mandated reporter training that we all take, the Keenan training. That's a new part of the law. The second part is that any volunteer who will be on a field trip, whether it's overnight or during the day, or is working with a group of students by him or herself, they will have to be fingerprinted before they can volunteer in that capacity. If they're in sight in line of the teacher or another staff member, they don't have to be fingerprinted. We would still raptor them, which is our quick screen. But this new law goes into effect. So we're just starting the communication rolling with our parent groups, our principals, our clerks. We're going to get to our teachers next. And this will be a beating the drum and getting the word out over the next several months. for implementation of next school year. And then, let's see, winter concerts. Yeah, there we go. So I've had the pleasure of listening to our wonderful student musicians. We started this last week. We go on this week. We've got one next week. The dates are all on our website. Really amazing performers. And I want to give a big shout out to our teachers who show up each day to support the music interests and teach. And so our teachers are currently Nils Johnson, Judy Nelson, Katie Watts, and then we also have Carrie Eichenberg, who leads the choir. And so I just want to say thank you to, and there's also some aides that support the work. So our student musicians, we have a very robust music program in Moreland, thanks to a lot of volunteer hours and volunteer time and money. And so I definitely encourage anybody who hasn't been to a concert to attend what we've got going on the rest of this week and next. And then let's see. Well, you just saw our Baker Bobcats and their Alice in Wonderland performance, but Latimer and MMS teamed up and had their performance last week, and they did Matilda Jr. It was over at Moreland Middle School. Shelley and I were able to go together, and you would be, I am blown away by some of the acting of these little ones. I mean, incredible. And so congratulations to all of the performers. And I don't think there's any more starting arts performances this fall, but there usually are some more in the spring, so I'll keep you updated. And then next slide, just a reminder, we will be closed December 22nd through January 2nd for winter break, which means we come back on Monday, January 5th. And I know our teachers, our staff, and everyone's ready. They're like crawling to the finish line, getting to that. You can attest to that, Michelle. And so everyone deserves a break. And we're almost there. We're almost there, guys. And I think that is all I have for this evening's report.
You.
Yeah, welcome. All right. Oh, no, Maureen, I'm sorry. One more thing. We're enrolling TK and kindergartners, and parent tours are up on our website, school websites, district website. We start that January 12th, which is tomorrow. It's
Right.
very,
Yes.
so I apologize, Maureen. She's very proud of the TK and K enrollment. And I totally forgot about that, but that does start right when we come back. So thank you. Now
Is
that concludes.
Is TK enrollment also scheduled for, does it line up with the start of the school year, or can they start anytime?
They kind of can start anytime if they meet the age requirements, but we're
Okay.
doing a big push for next year's group
Okay.
of 4-year-olds, making sure that parents know it's free for TK and all that. All right.
Anything else? All right, board members' communications.
Nothing for me.
Okay.
Really quickly, Dr. Cotter and I went to Matilda. Again, it was amazing. I just, when I think about the amount of time it took for the students to memorize their cues, their lines, the dancing, the song. I mean, it's just really amazing. And then not only that, the staff and the parent volunteers who like kept the students fed while they're performing. I know there's a lot that goes behind it. And again, like I know you said it before, but very, very fortunate and lucky and blessed to have a theater program that part of. So
Accents. They spoke
oh yeah.
accents.
Oh yeah, they did the whole thing in British accent. Is at first when I was listening, and I was like, is she British? And then like everyone, it was amazing.
Incredible.
Yeah, it was very good. And then I had I joined the President's Council last week. Again, thank you for having me there. I had some new faces, some old faces, as in I've seen them before. And it's just a great time of collaboration. I know Tasha came and shared about the new law. But yeah, just a lot of always constant things going on at the schools. And then there was also really good conversation around like leadership and wanting to change leadership to show, with new, every time there's new leader, there's new ideas. And so there was a lot of good conversation around that as well. And I think that's it. Yes.
Nothing.
Nothing to add.
I just want to echo the sentiments about the MEF meeting. First of all, you bring in three little girls with a lemonade stand and all dressed in yellow. And it was just so heartwarming and so incredible, the dedication that we see from our littlest Morelanders to our adults to support amazing things in the district. And so I too want to just express my thanks to Anna and to the entire MEF board and to the parents that helped lead that effort. And I would love to know when they come to the district office, because I'm always thirsty and would be more than happy to come support those kiddos. And that's it for me. MTA. Yay.
So tonight we have something a little different. We can shout outs to be projected.
Amazing.
The excitement never ends. Okay. Pain Sunshine Committee, thanks for organizing such a fun holiday celebration for our school family to enjoy. And that's them. And they have been raving about this party. Such a great time, laughing, trying out new skills, and a little friendly competition never hurts. Joanna Simon. Cindy and Jess Latimer, ELA Core is the bomb. Loving you, Stacy Reddy Latimer. Marianne Artman, Tiffany Padilla, Stephanie Vilgushinsky, Ashley Verbrugge, Grace Kim. Being the best village of support for the students in need. You guys are the best. Tanisha Pierce. Michelle Wall and Elizabeth Harrell for going above and beyond to feed and care for all the bus kids that come early in the morning. Carly Slaughter, Country Lane. Jeanette Escobar. I would like to thank Jeanette for her leadership with the staff and the community. Payne is transforming into a wonderful place of respect and collaboration for all. Crystal Duranke.
Wow.
Stacey Reddy, thank you for all the energy and creativity you put into leadership. Your students are awesome at leveling up the school culture, and you do so many little things that bring joy to our campus. Joel Helveston. Carrie Katsuyama. Carrie is such a great teacher. She's kind, patient, and our students adore her. We are so lucky to have her as part of our Anderson team. Tricia Karen. That's it.
Before you sit down, I just want to express my thanks. I know that it takes extra effort to collect the shout outs and for folks to highlight the things that they see. And it just gives us such a wonderful opportunity to not only help celebrate those efforts, but it also gives us, in some cases, a snapshot into all the extra that happens on our school sites. And so I really want you to know, and I hope it gets passed along, how grateful we are that you come and you share this with us.
Thank you. It means a lot to all of us too.
I like the presentation too, seeing.
I know, you just set a new bar.
But you know,
If,
Alicia brought it up. She's like, what's up? You know.
no.
The slides and.
Oh, yeah.
That was phenomenal.
Oh,
Amazing.
That was awesome.
Team effort.
bar set.
Judge it up.
And have a great evening. Oh,
Yeah.
you're committed?
Sticking it out.
Michelle stays.
No.
You
sticking
said,
it
have
out.
a good evening, and I said, Michelle stays. You've
Yeah.
stayed at every meeting.
What? I love it. It's interesting.
Thank you.
All right, on to reports and action items. Speaking of judging, the 25-26 first interim report.
If you raise the bar, I'll just bring it down a little bit lower. So here is the first interim report. So this is taking our budget that we brought to you guys in June, and now we're kind of aligning it with where we are. And so this is from July to October 31st, we're realigning. So first, I got to thank our director, Efren, for all his support with this. So a lot of time in my office just laughing and getting through it. So it's been good. So, all right. So first thing, enrollment projections. This includes our COE and NPS students. You can see it has dropped about 13. So we just carried that out for the out years, that kind of drop, just to be conservative. As you know, we are funded based on our enrollment. So you want to, be cautious that we're not overshooting it and over shooting our revenue. So All right, so you see here, that if you look at the numbers closely, you see that they're different from the previous. These are like the butts and seats. Yeah, go ahead. Sure.
Question, if our, let's start from the beginning. If our enrollment numbers were wildly off, let's just say unfortunately, and they go in the negative direction.
Yeah.
Is there a clawback of the revenue? Or is there no clawback, but it's more like we just don't get funded?
We just don't get funded. So we're based on the enrollment and then the ADA, so the percentage that they actually show up to school.
Right.
That's why like in our slides, you'll see like we're usually about a 95%.
Okay.
Yeah, so if we're off, then, so let's say we get about 12,000 per student. If you're off by 100 students, widely off.
Yeah.
You're off that amount, so 12,000 times that.
It's always
So
funded back. It's not like there's no clawback of funds from the state or anything.
no, we get funded based on the actual enrollment, so.
Thank you.
Yeah, so we want to make sure we're as close as possible, which is why we're conservative, because we would rather, if anything, undershoot it. So then we get, if we get more kids, great. Like last year, it came up a little higher than our projection. So that was good. So then we get funded a little higher.
Do we, I know that you look at it at different
Yeah.
moments of time. Do we see, and maybe this is just popping into my head, you need to circle back at a later time, that's fine. Do we see a difference in students a significant difference in enrollment and then show up the first day?
Not too bad. We're pretty good. I mean, there are some, because the ones that move, they move out, they don't tell us.
Sure.
A lot of times that's offset to the new ones coming in. So we haven't seen a huge amount. What we do at the end of the year is we have the schools send out a survey that basically says, let us know your plans.
Okay.
If you plan on moving, let us know now, helps us for our staffing. And so we really push that. And so that gives us a good idea of where our numbers are.
Okay.
So we haven't seen a huge drop. Again, based year to year, kind of how things are going. As you all know, it's expensive to live around here, so.
I would just add that some district where we watch these numbers very closely every day, every week. And we don't overshoot in terms of revenue. If you put a higher number up here,
Sure.
your interims and your budgets are going to look better
Mhm.
Yeah.
until the kids don't show up. Then it doesn't look so good. And so some other districts nearby, they did not see 80 students show up from their projection. I think 140 from their original estimate, but then something
Yeah.
around 80 of funding. It was incredible. They were off, and we talk a lot, and they also keep me in line because of course you want to put the numbers up and have more revenue, but it's better to be conservative on the front end. And you see that we're really close each year. If you watch and what we've projected and what we've come in, we've been very close.
I ask because it's probably something that is indicative of every year, right? There's some percentage of kiddos that enroll and don't show up. And so I imagine that's taken into consideration. Is that right?
Yeah, we always, when we kind of roll them over, we take a certain, a lot of times you see like fifth grade going into middle school, you lose some there.
Yeah.
And so we kind of take a percentage off and kind of estimate, and we've been pretty good so far.
Great.
So like I said, we want to be conservative because it's, just because we put it on paper doesn't mean we're actually getting it. So.
But we've been,
Sadly.
I know.
we've been seeing encouraging data about like TK classes and
Yeah.
larger kindergartens. Is that holding up as a cadre coming through, or?
So
Too soon to know.
it's too soon to know. So it used to be for like when someone was at Baker, you don't know who's going to show up, right? Because the kinder was the lowest grade. So now that lowest grade is TK. So we have the first year where this is the full year of September 1st to, and so I think we did pretty good in our numbers. We have about a little 200, 201, somewhere around there. If you look at the enrollment. So those kids should roll forward. It's going to be those TKers coming in. That's going to be, that's our new unknown of who's coming in. So we're hoping to see that it carries forward. Yeah, for sure.
Great.
Okay. So you can see that these numbers are actually the students that are in the Moreland School District. So like we say, the butts in the seats on that day. So that's why they're a little different. The county and the NPS students aren't in these numbers. We do get funded ADA on them, and those are, built into the revenue, but I wanted to show you the actual students that we serve in the actual, at each of our schools. As you know, funded ADA, well, when the enrollment goes down, that average is going to drop a little bit, so we just adjusted that. We usually shoot for around that 95% ADA attendance rate. As you know, we're funded based on them actually showing up, so it's just not just the enrollment itself, but if they don't show up, half the time, you'll get half the
money.
Okay. So, our unduplicated dropped a little bit. So we're at about 46. So you can see our unduplicated pupil count. Lottery changed just by $1, so I threw it up there just so you can see. And then special ed, that's the contribution, and you can see that went up by about 500,000. And so that's always the number that we're looking at, because we know that's a big impact on the overall budget. And this isn't just a Moreland thing, it's across the county and the state.
But that's our encroachment.
That's our encroachment, and that's not the full amount.
It's not.
That's what we're contributing. So you have the special ed is under restricted.
Yeah.
That's what we're contributing from the unrestricted.
That's just the journal entry from unrestricted. But it's not your full encroachment. What's our full, is our full encroachment 20?
No, that's the full encroachment. But you have expenses in your unrestricted. If you go through the book, you'll see those.
Yeah.
So on top of what we get kind of funded in our restricted, it's an additional 13.7 million for us that we got to come up with. So it's always something we're looking at and doing the best we can to kind of manage it. Look forward to.
And that 13 million is an all-in number. And that 13 million is an all-in number, so it's
From the unrestricted.
from the unrestricted. Okay, but it includes staff, resources, time.
Yeah. Anything. So what's funded for your special ed is over in our unrestricted or in our restricted, and so you have all these funds over here. Obviously, it doesn't cover the cost of everything, so then we need to
pull over,
contribute over.
Yeah.
So you go to the next year, COLA is still projected at the 3.02. Kind of go through, you can see the different numbers. You can see special ed. Well, as it goes up 1 year, it's kind of a rollover thing. It goes up again. So we're in the 14 million revised. Routine repairs at 3%. And then extended care is actually an addition. That's like a positive. So what we earn from extended care is we're able to bring it over as a contribution on the positive side. And then you look at 27, 28, same thing again. We're looking to make the big numbers is that special ed number that's changed, and then routine repair, and then extended care again is a positive for us. So you can put them all together. Next slide. You can look at the funding sources below. Those are kind of our main ones. LCFF funding per ADA, so that's per student. Base funding, it's kind of an average because it's based on the grade level. There's a TK add-on, and then our supplemental grant funding as well. And so you can see those are increasing based on COLA. So that's what we projected in our revenue. All right, so the top, those are total revenues. You see the estimation 25, 26, we're about 49 million. Goes up a little bit in 26, 27, and a little bit more in 27, 28. Those are adding COLA each of the years. And you can see the breakdown. Most of our funds come from LCFF sources. And then we have some state revenue, which is like lottery, some other like small grants, and then our local revenue, which is like parcel tax and interest.
It's interesting that even though there's a slight decline in enrollment projections for future year, the increase is primarily driven by COLA adjustments.
Yeah. We rely on COLA. So like when we do like in the budget, they haven't changed from the budget. We rely on COLA. So that's what we're projecting out. So when we do our multi-year, we're basing, when we add COLA to our revenue. So then, you kind of project this is what we're going to receive. So then when we go through, in January, when we go to the governor's budget, first one, if they reduce COLA, then our revenues drop. So we're back to the drawing board, kind of looking at the second interim and tweaking it. If it goes up, it's a good thing. So what I'm finding is it's always, we're always just projecting numbers that we're hoping is going to actually come true. fun. It's really exciting.
But what you're saying is that you have COLA exceeds the declining enrollment right now,
Yes,
which is why we still have
yeah.
slightly positive.
Based on the state, as long as it stays that way and
Doesn't-
see.
We'll see, because
So here's our expenditures. So we're expending 48 million. Again, these are unrestricted funds. And then 46 and 46 on the out years. And you can kind of see where most of it goes towards people, because we are in the business of, helping students, and we need the people to do that. So do you have any questions on this? I can go through each one in detail if you like.
just the last line item.
The last line is our indirect costs that we're able to charge different federal funds. We can do like an administrative charge, basically. And so it's that's money coming in, right? So it's money coming in that we're pulling from the restricted side. So we're able to, like, our indirect charge was 5.5%.
Mhm.
So like on Title I funds, from those funds, we can charge 5.5. Doesn't cover the cost of everything. We do it just so we can show, like, this is kind of what it would cost us. The real expenses outweighs the cost, so it's not like we're making that money.
Makes sense.
Next slide. So these are our other sources. So you can see, like, the top one, enterprise fund, that's money coming in, positive, so they're contributing to, so that's our extended care. Our lease revenue, we take the full amount, so, we're 8.3 million is coming in to support, which is a huge amount. Special reserve fund, that's our OPEB, the retirement, so it's kind of an in and out, so we don't get too much. But you can see special ed contribution, other local programs contribution, routine repairs, expanded learning, so that's our ELOP funds. And so we have a lot of students in our extended care through ELOP that don't pay for the extended care. And so what we're able to do is take those ELOP funds that we get and what we would have gotten in tuition, or whatever you want to call it, for extended care, we're able to use that ELOP fund and bring it over. So that's a positive. But you can see at the bottom line, the negative 3.8, that is our deficit spending. It is down from our unaudited actuals. If you remember, it was about a 4.3, I think. So we are fixing, this deficit spending. And in the out years, we've made some assumptions to kind of get within the allowable amount. But you can see our beginning balances at the end of this year, we're estimating about 8.5 with an ending balance of 4.7. And you'll see in the next slide, our set-asides. So we have our economic uncertainties, that's our 3%. Our enrollment decline, we put that in there a couple of years ago. So notice we pull it out in 26, 27, 27, 28, over there. We have 500,000 next year for our textbook adoption to help support that, along with our lottery funds. And so you can see kind of our undesignated balance in the out years. So looking at the next steps, so in January, Efren and I will drive up to Sacramento to listen to the budget. So we'll see how that is. As you know, that's kind of his first stab at it. When it goes to legislation, they always want to, tweak things, and we get the May revise. So we'll do the second interim report in March, and the May revise, and then we'll come back with the budget adoption and LCAP in June. We are optimistic. If you look at the news, the revenues for the state are about 11 billion over what they projected. And because of Prop 98, schools will be entitled to, about 7 to 8 billion. So we're hoping there's, there has to be money, because basically Prop 98 got to give it to schools. So how they give it, that's what we don't know yet. So.
I would just add to that. So we expect it to come in the form of one-time money that you can spread out over a few years. So that is good news. Let's hope that does come. Our deficit spending is real. We've been doing that for several years. We have put all of our resources in our schools, a lot of support staff. If you look in the out years, we cannot afford to have all of the support staff that we have. We've been very clear with the union. We've been clear kind of everywhere we go with our families. We will have to make cuts over time. We knew this. We knew that we wouldn't have the same level of staffing forever. Hopefully the one-time money will help a little bit, just soften the cuts. But In order to have a balanced budget over time and over the multi-years, we just can't keep the same level of staffing that we do have right now.
With all the assumptions that we're currently working with.
Yes.
So we asked you to approve the first interim budget with positive certification.
Any questions or comments?
My only comment is that I happen to, in my industry, I spend a lot of time filling the coffer for the state of California. It's okay, it's a good thing. It's, but like, there is a visibility that I get as I get a chance to see. The state has become so dependent on stock sales, to be honest, from restricted stock sales. So there's nothing that changes. There's a huge IPO window that's coming, which is also a wealth creation event for the state. And so I would say from this position, they're very likely to make their budget goals at this point, because it's the largest variable you can kind of see. So anyways, I think it's more likely than not that you are in better position, not worse, at least for coming from this year and specifically and in the next. I have no questions. Thank you. Thank you for the work. I would offer to approve the first interim
With a positive certification status?
with positive certification status.
A second?
I'll second it.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. This is really helpful, this presentation. The budget is a 212-page document, tremendous amount of work.
I'm gonna quiz you out later.
Okay, excellent.
I really do appreciate the side by side about the different.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Yes.
there's no reason to go find them. It's very helpful to say these are the assumption changes. This is what we've learned from now through October. And so thank you.
All right, on to the developer fee report.
You guys thought I was done. All right, developer fees report. So we bring this annually. These are fees that we are allowed to collect for new developments and that should get impact on the facility. Our allocation, we have an agreement between Campbell Union. We collect 70%, they collect 30%. And that's standard because, you know, Campbell Union is across multiple districts, right? So the fees that we collect, if you look at the far side of the district rate, 3.35 per square foot in residential and 0.546 in commercial. And those are based on the rates when we did our last 5-year or development report back in 2022. When we do a new report, if the fees may be higher, so we may be able to charge more. What we have found with these, and which you probably know when you see it next slide, you can see that we have more fees coming in. We have because there are restrictions, and so it has to do with the impact of students. Well, we're in declining enrollment. They have changed the rules where we can use it to modernize, doesn't have to necessarily be new buildings. And with the expansion of TK, we're going to go ahead and utilize that. So we know that has an impact in, the younger. So we're going to start with kind of looking at the TK areas, the bathrooms, the classrooms, and start using some of the funds for that. So we have an ending balance of 1.2 for the 24-25. It just keeps going up. For example, they started the El Paseo project. I'll get to the slide in a second, but so the El Paseo, and so we're expecting anywhere between, and I'm just going to give you a wide range because Shelley's still working it out, but anywhere between 1.5 and 2.5 billion that development will.
And that's just doing 52 cents per square foot at this point. Is that?
That is but there's some residential on there, so that's where. So and there's what Shelley's working on is it sent the proposal. There's like 2 buildings with different commercial events. So she's been doing all the math and it's a big chunk. So we'll have money to kind of be able to look at those bathrooms, the TK areas, the kindergarten areas where the impact is now, and then that impact is going to continue out, as of the out years, and so we'll be able to utilize.
This is a fee on the developers of new.
New developments. It could be housing, anything over 700 we charge on, so if they, if they're increasing their housing size,
Okay,
we charge development fees.
and it kind of gets rolled into an individual's property tax and we get
Doesn't go to this is a fee on top of, that's a whole different assessment.
It's actually paid at the city when you go.
Before you can get the permit.
Oh, okay, got it.
Yeah, and before they can get the permit, they need to show that they paid their developers.
Is it yearly? Just one time?
One time as a developer. Now, obviously with the house, if you enhance it, it's your property taxes, they come and reassess and.
Yeah,
They could-
that's an ongoing. Got it, okay.
So, next slide. So you can see, we did spend a lot, about 42,000 in service and operating, and then enrollment analytics to kind of look at what our enrollment help us with our projections. So total expenditure is about 43,000. We didn't have any interfund transfers, no loans, and no refund. The refund would be if somebody comes in, they wanted to start a project, they pay the permits, and for some reason it goes on hold, and they say, oh, we're not going to do it anymore. They come back. They don't follow through. And so you can see just a trend. You see like 23, 24. We collected a lot of developer fees, probably kind of coming out of COVID, and people are staying put, start expanding on their homes and whatnot. And you can see the expenditures, but you'll see like next year, when I give this report, that 25, 26, that's going to be a little bit higher.
And again, for the funds spent, receipts really, that's primarily because it's been restricted spending.
Yeah, you have, it's very strict on what you can spend in development. Originally used to be like, it had to be like, because of the impact of enrollment, you're building a new building, you can put it into there. They've loosened it up a little bit. Still, in this position, learning to make sure we're using it correctly. We want to make sure we don't spend them, on a project, and then they come back and say, oh, you couldn't do that, we owe $1 million from the general fund. And now you're, paying yourself back for, so.
Got it.
We're looking at it, but we're pretty confident, like with TK, with the expansion, that's an impact.
Got it.
It's impacted those areas, so we're gonna be able to do.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you.
Questions?
Comments? Hearing none?
Thank you for anticipating the LPSA one, because I was.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We had just gotten that in.
Yeah.
a couple weeks ago.
Thank you very much.
Yeah.
All right, do we have a motion?
I'll make a motion to approve the 2024-2025 developer fee report.
Well, second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. On to approval of the declaration of need for the 25-26 school year.
So currently, we don't have any teachers on emergency credentials. But as teachers go out on maternity leave and such, and we have some open positions, we might have the need to hire somebody on an emergency credential if we can't find someone who's fully qualified. So we're just asking that you approve that we're able to do that.
These are all kind of like estimates. It's not like we need them now. It's like for the future.
Right, we do it every year just in case, and we hadn't needed it yet this year, and we're like, oh, well, we might. We've lots of people and pregnant and different things pop up.
Do we see year over year much of a change in that need?
Usually we do end up hiring one or two, or like if you're in the process of getting a bridge credential, then you would be on this, even though you're fully credentialed, you might have to fill in some paperwork to get your bridge, so you would fall into this category for like that certain thing you're teaching, like for the special ed piece. So we usually do have a few.
Any other questions or comments? Hearing none, do I have?
We do this last year.
You do it every year.
Around.
Every year, earlier in the year, and Elisa was like, we didn't put it on, because we're like, oh, we're chugging along. We're like, oh, you know what we didn't do? Because, usually when you're helping someone get their emergency credential, it like prompts you to be like, oh, we got to do that. And we knock on wood, we've been so good so far, but it is an annual thing that we ask that you approve it.
This is for the 25-26.
So it's for this current school year.
And that's kudos to you and your team, because it is not an easy
Yeah.
environment
To fill.
Mhm.
yeah, the positions to fill. And so that's great. Thank you for all of your hard work on that. I have a motion to approve.
I'll put in a motion to approve the declaration of need for this 25-26 school year.
A second.
I'll second it.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Okay.
All right, on to the consent. Any questions or comments on tonight's consent?
I'd make a motion to approve the consent items in aggregate.
In a second,
I'll second it.
all in favor?
Aye.
Aye, all right, you have that. Okay, so we will now open the Board of Trustees organizational meeting, and I will turn it over to Dr. Cod.
Thank you, Heather. Before I ask for nominations for the position of president, I'd like to take a few moments to recognize Heather. Tonight is a big moment for our board, and before we move forward, I want to pause and acknowledge someone who has given so much time to of herself to the district. So Heather, serving as board president for the past 5-ish or so years is extraordinary, and you've done it with grace, strength, and heart. You led the board through some really defining moments, helping us reopen our schools after COVID, representing us so thoughtfully and thoroughly with the Moreland Education Foundation, and something I'm personally grateful for, guiding the board through the process of hiring me in 2021. I will always appreciate the support that you have showed me then and ever since. Your leadership has been a steady presence for all of us. So I want to thank you for your dedication, your kindness, and the countless ways you've shown up for us in Moreland, your commitment to our students and staff, and your deep care for this community have shaped Moreland in ways that cannot be overstated. So while you're not leaving us, you're not going off the board, you're passing the gravel is still never easy, especially after serving with such distinction. So on behalf of our district, we want to thank you for your service, your heart, and your unwavering belief in Moreland. We are grateful for you and we love you for you.
Warn me.
I didn't. Sorry, I forgot.
Oh.
I really did. I really forgot to warn you. But now I am going to ask for nominations. Would you want to say things now or you want to say things
I'll
later?
say things in a minute.
Okay. I would like to ask for nominations for the position of president of the board.
And so with that, I just want to express, sorry, you caught me, my gratitude for all of the support and trust that has been placed in me. Serving in this capacity, honestly, has been the honor of a lifetime. I can't overstate what it has meant to me personally. And I hope that I did do good things for this district. I am not going anywhere and will continue to support all of the efforts this board and staff, parents, everyone in the community puts forward in support of students. And that is something I'm really, really proud of, is that we have always been and always will be very student-centered. And I want to thank you all for making that possible. It has been incredible. And with that, though, it is really important. I think we all know how important it is to have change in leadership. And I think that it's a good time for that. It's a really good time for that. And so with that, it would be my honor. I would be very excited to nominate Shriram to serve as our next board president. I have always appreciated your contributions and are thrilled to see you put your stamp on things and take this board and this district to the next and best and next place.
Thank you. Appreciate that.
Absolutely.
How do I say?
So you need to second it because
Okay.
you need to accept the nomination if you so desire.
I humbly second the nomination, but wait, I have some
Oh,
words.
okay.
I wrote them down because I knew that I wouldn't.
Well, do we need to actually vote first?
Yeah.
Let's or are these words gonna impact the odds of us actually?
So we should take a vote.
Yeah, let's take a vote first. Yes. See if there's other nominations.
All in favor, say aye.
Yes.
All right, sure.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
Thank you. Thank you. So I did write this down because I knew that I'm jet lagged and I had 22 hours on the plane to write this.
And landed this
This
morning.
morning, so I knew that I would not remember all of this. So while I humbly accept the nomination, I do want to take a moment to recognize and thank Heather. Her leadership as the president of the board has been nothing short of extraordinary. She's brought a level of dedication, diligence, and thoroughness that sets the standard for whoever steps into these shoes, and these are big shoes. But what truly defines her was the way that she invested in personal relationships. We keep talking about Moreland as a family, etc., but that's meaningless if you don't actually invest in the relationships. And I've seen no better person do that than Heather. The amount of time that she spends on it and the amount of sincerity that goes into that. Because of her commitment to connecting the people, she has helped create a climate of trust and collaboration. And that is so hard in today's environment to come by. And in a way, the fact that our district is functional is a representation of much of the groundwork that Heather has done. So thank you for that. We all stand on the shoulders of giants. So for that, we're really thankful. So thank you again for your steady leadership, your compassion, and your unwavering belief in our students, who you hold at the center of your heart more than anything else. And that is, that's the core of it. And our district is stronger because of your leadership. Thank you. And I'll stop. I will stop.
It has been a pleasure, an absolute pleasure, and most times fun.
Most times.
Most times fun. But it takes time and it takes creating capacity in your day. And so I want to thank you in advance for stepping into that role and for creating that space and expressing your dedication.
Absolutely. I'm looking forward to it.
Well, at this time, I believe I ask for nominations for the position of clerk of the board.
So can I make, right, as I begin my journey here, with this.
Resident now.
Yeah.
You.
And as I said, I'm fully aware of the really big shoes that I'll be filling in. There is a lot to learn for me here. And especially as a first-time president, and in full recognition of the enormity of two things: the enormity of what I need to learn and my mental capacity in order to be able to learn that. This again. So I'm humbly requesting Heather to be the clerk of the board so that that transition is smoother, and it helps me transition into that role. And I'd really appreciate and value her guidance and mentorship in that role as I transition.
Sure, I guess that's me. I am honored and will support you in any capacity, no matter which seat I'm in, hands down. It would be my pleasure to serve as your clerk, but also I want to make sure that if there is someone else on the board interested in serving in that capacity, I would certainly not want to stand in the way of that. And so I'm looking to the rest of the board. And there's no one behind you, Ryan.
Just checking. My little mind has really gotten enthusiastic.
So I assume that means that you're all comfortable with that nomination, and in that event, I would absolutely accept that nomination. Thank you, and second that.
All right. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Well, congratulations to both.
Right now, right now.
Thank you for the last three items on the.
I was gonna say.
But that is.
It's a cold away, it's a cold moment. It's a move out of my chair.
I've never sat beside Heather.
I have one thing to say about Heather just before.
Yes.
On other pieces. So, I work with a ton of different leaders and people, and I was, what people don't know is that I got appointed to the board initially.
I did not.
That's true. So I got appointed to the board initially. This is 100 years ago, and there were a ton of people that applied at the time. And I wish that we had the same problem today. I really wish that this was the issue, but there were 10 plus people that were interested. It was a little bit of a different season in the place. And I rolled through here with zero understanding of this place. I had no kids in the district at the time, at an incoming kindergartner, and no idea for the people that had done the work what I was walking to. And I got through the process. They appointed me. That was great. And then truly years later, I talked to Heather, and Heather goes, I feel like, we're building a relationship. I feel like it's important that we kind of clear the air. And I want you to know why I did not vote for you in the appointment process. And she had assumed that I had read the meeting minutes because it's public, that she did not vote for me. And I've held some form of grudge over the years of why, and I had no idea. She had not point. And here's the truth. It's a funny story, but at the end of this, that I have worked with you for you now for a very long time. And we are not the same people. And this is a great example of people who aren't 100% aligned on lots of other topics, but we've always been aligned on one, which is students. And I have never once suspected you having any other idea or motive other than doing the right thing for people and for kids. And I have never once had a problem supporting you as a result. And I do think it's a model for what I wish boards could do, which is to say, actually, it has really very little to do with what our interests and affiliations might be if we're aligned to students first and foremost. And so I would just say, I would follow you anywhere. You have done a wonderful job as a leader here. And it's good for new leadership. That's all true. But thank you for the work that you have invested deeply on our behalf.
There's so much respect for all of you, and these kind words are just overwhelming. So thank you for all of that.
Well deserved. And people don't know how much work goes in behind the scenes to keep this governance structure functional, working, moving forward, focused on students. And I don't want anyone to take that for granted. It takes a lot of hard work. And so we do attribute that to your leadership. And so thank you.
All right.
Yeah. Okay, where were we?
County Committee on Students.
So the County Committee on School District Organization, I think traditionally has been held by the board president. And so that would be. We need to vote on that.
That would be the safe choice.
Sure, let's do that. So I would make a motion, or I nominate Shriram to serve in that capacity, to serve on the County Committee on School District Organization.
I second that.
Sure. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay. Designation of dates and times of meetings for the 26-27 school year. Goodness. Any comments?
26, 27.
I really don't bother about 27, so we're just going to assume I'm available at this stage.
7, is that even a real year?
It is on the horizon. Any questions or comments on tonight on the designation of the next school year's
I have no objections currently.
No.
Okay. Do I have a motion to approve?
Make a motion to approve the 26-27 dates and times.
I second it.
Oh, okay. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Committee assignments. Any changes, interests in changes to our current committee assignments?
How do you feel about, is Westside Boards on?
Yeah, oh no, but West Side Board.
Okay, I don't have any.
Hearing none. Motion to, I guess, remain the same.
I'll make a motion to,
Amazing.
for the committee assignments to be as reflected in the agenda.
That's exactly what I
I
meant.
look at that already presenting.
Right?
Very presidential.
In a second, please.
My mom's
I'll
a
say-
lawyer. My mom was a lawyer.
All in favor, say aye. Aye. Future meeting dates, closing items, anything on future meeting dates?
On January 27th, I will be at the AXA Superintendent Symposium, but I will be attending virtually. So
Okay.
I just won't be physically here, but I'll be at the meeting.
Okay. Anyone else?
There is a likelihood that I'll be missing the February 10th. I will try to attend remotely.
Okay. Anything else? Okay. Announcements, reminders, requests? I just had one kind of follow-up request. I had asked at a board meeting, a couple board meetings ago, about ways in which the board might be able to express our support of all the attendance efforts that are being made in the district. And I know I want to thank you for putting in the Friday report a suggested resolution or an example of a resolution. As you know, per board governance manual, if it requires 15 minutes or more of staff time, that we need board consensus to ask staff to invest in any other efforts. And so I was just curious to see, is that something, have you had a chance to read that? Is that something that you are also interested in pursuing, potentially a resolution or board policy recognizing attendance efforts?
And my approach is that if there's different sites that require any assistance from the board,
Mhm.
documenting that through any kind of either formal or informal request that's where I would be headed than a formal resolution.
Okay.
To be able to say, hey, these are the things that would be useful and help drive that.
From the board or from, because we do that in the form of, with the form of a resolution,
Yeah.
Brian?
I think you're saying that does staff really view that are there
Are-
things the board could do? What's the list of the things that the board could do that would actually support from that position?
Yeah.
Right, right.
Actually support it. And if the number one on that list is a resolution, then you
Then so be it.
proceed. But I think he's saying there's an interim step of like, where can the board provide meaningful support? That's how I'm hearing
That's correct.
it. And then just determining, is it a resolution or not? It's like, first, let's have a conversation that says, this is how we view where the board could be best used to support enrollment.
Yeah, because if the individual school sites are like, I got this, then
Yeah.
Yeah, I think your role is tricky, it's governance.
Mhm.
So you're not supporting with operational matters. You would direct those to me and I would direct those to Jen and her department.
Mhm.
I don't think it would hurt to have a resolution that expresses the board's the importance
Mhm.
of attendance. We've been trying to get the word out about the importance of attendance, and we do have a community that likes to take some vacations,
Mhm.
extended vacations, and I think we tried to address that in the policy prior to my arrival. So I know Jen and her team have been looking at the policy to see if there's any areas that we could tighten up in that policy and make a bigger statement, if you will. So you could either look at it as a policy, you could do it as a resolution. I think we also need to have a conversation just as staff is like, what are we doing? What can we do more? What do our principals and our sites need from us?
Mhm.
That isn't necessarily from you guys, but is really from staff.
Yeah.
So I mean, along the same lines, then I'd be interested in finding time to agendize that conversation.
Right. Okay.
And then an outcome from that is either like, oh, now we think that a resolution is informed by what we heard and and then it would shape the language, I think. So
Sure.
that makes sense.
instead of starting with the resolution, that would be my only.
I did in the resolution that you provided in the Friday report, some of the key things that I really appreciated was acknowledgement of student achievement and the need to be in school to do that. that nationwide, that's an effort. Chronic absenteeism is a predictor of, future success. And all in California Ed Code, all of that stuff. And so I'm happy to follow whatever path. But I do think it's an opportunity to support staff in supporting families. And so are you comfortable with what you're hearing in terms of next steps?
Very
Or do you need-
comfortable. I don't know what the next step is, but I'm
Okay.
very comfortable. I'm comfortable with the gray. What I think I heard is that the board is interested in doing something from a governance level that would be, that staff would view as supportive from the seat that you sit. I also heard, I believe, that we may need to do some homework around what do principals and assistant principals and other staff need from us. So that you could have a robust conversation about what that might look like from, the board seat in terms of a resolution or changing the policy in some way. And so I heard we have some homework and that Brian would like to maybe agendize this topic, but we would want to bring that homework to that meeting, have a conversation, and then figure out what the next step is after that. Did I hear that correctly?
Yeah. I would want it all in alignment, meaning whatever you're thinking is helpful from a policy level, that it goes through the governance and that those two are in alignment
Yeah,
and
I agree.
supporting one another. And
So I would just circle back and say that sounds more like that it's going to take you more than 15 minutes worth of time. And so I would look to the rest of the board for a majority to say, yes, please do that. Yes?
Yeah.
Yes.
I agree.
Okay.
Yeah.
I am comfortable with the direction.
Perfect. Thank you. Any other announcements, reminders, requests? Guys, we're
Merry
adjourned.
Christmas.
Have a good holiday.
Merry Christmas. Happy holiday.